Dear seekers of divine wisdom, welcome to the second episode of our series, Whispers of Wisdom, Unveiling the Tapestry of John's Gospel. Our journey unfolds from the works of Saint Augustine. Let us, without delay, immerse ourselves in the sacred text. And so we begin. Chapter 1 of John, verses 1 to 5. Contemplating Wisdom, a journey beyond the seen and heard. In the annals of human understanding, there exist those who have sought to grasp the ineffable, wisdom herself. They reached out with hearts yearning for that which transcends mere sensory perception. For what eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor has ever taken root in the human heart. But consider this paradox. If wisdom remains elusive to the hearts of mortals, how then did it find its dwelling within John? Was John not a man, bound by the same earthly limitations? Perhaps, though, it was not wisdom that ascended into John's heart, but rather John's heart that ascended toward wisdom. For what rises from the depths of man belongs to the earthly realm, while that which the heart seeks ascends from realms beyond. Yet, let us delve deeper. If, in some mysterious way, wisdom did indeed ascend into John's heart, it did so precisely because he was more than mere man. John, like all saints, bore the mantle of messenger, a celestial envoy bridging the chasm between the divine and the earthly. In their sacred mission, they transcended the mundane, their wings brushing against the heavens. But what of the carnal and the natural, those whose eyes remain veiled to the mysteries of God? The apostle admonished them, saying, "Are ye not men?" Their divisions, claiming allegiance to Paul or Apollos, betrayed their humanity. Yet, the Psalms whisper a secret. Ye are gods, children of the Most High. Thus, God beckons us beyond our humanity, urging us to shed our earthly skins and ascend. Yet, beware the pitfall of false pride. To recognize our humanity is the first step toward divine elevation. For when we believe ourselves something more than we are, we risk losing even what we possess. So let us rise, not as men, but as messengers of the celestial, our humility the ladder to heights unknown. Contemplating the divine word, the summit of John's ascent. Brethren, let us ascend the sacred peaks where John, the visionary, stood. His words echo across time. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. This mountain, bathed in celestial peace, became his sanctuary, a place of profound contemplation. But what manner of mountain was this? Picture it. John soared above earthly summits, transcending the very plains of the sky. He ascended beyond the distant stars, leaving behind the choirs of angels and their celestial legions. For he knew that to reach the Maker of all things, he must rise above the created order. Imagine the heights he scaled, the heavens and the earth, both shaped by divine command. Yet more wondrous still were the spiritual realms. Angels, archangels, thrones, dominions, and powers, all crafted by the same word that echoed through eternity. The psalmist declared, "He spoke, and they were made. He commanded, and they were created." And so, John's heart, aflame with longing, dared to grasp the ineffable. "In the beginning was the Word," he proclaimed, "and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." But how could a mortal heart ascend to such heights? Only by surpassing all that the Word had wrought, the very fabric of existence. This mountain, holy and lofty, stood among those peaks that received peace for God's people. Its summit beckoned righteousness, and John, with eyes turned heavenward, glimpsed the eternal Word, the bridge between the finite and the infinite, the mountains of hope and divine illumination. Dear brethren, let us contemplate whether John, the evangelist, stands among the mountains we once sang of. "I lift up my eyes to the mountains. From where shall my help come?" If you seek understanding, direct your gaze toward this mountain, the evangelist himself. Ascend to the essence of his words. Yet beware, while these mountains receive peace, true tranquility eludes those who anchor their hope solely in humanity. As you raise your eyes to the mountain, do not mistake it for the source of your hope. Instead, declare, "I lift up my eyes to the mountains. From where shall my help come?" but swiftly add, "My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth." Our hope should not rest solely in the mountains themselves, for they serve as conduits, not creators. Just as the mountains receive, so should our hope be anchored in what they receive. Consider the scriptures, a sacred range of peaks through which divine wisdom flows. Yet remember that men penned these holy words. Their brilliance did not emanate from self, but from the true light, the one who illuminates every soul entering this world. John the Baptist, too, was a mountain, a beacon of humility. "I am not the Christ," he declared, "lest anyone mistake him for the light itself." He confessed, "From his fullness we have all received." So, dear seeker, say this, "I lift up my eyes to the mountains. From where shall my help come?" But do not attribute salvation to the mountains. Continue and affirm, "My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth." Seeking wisdom, the mountains of revelation. Dear brethren, let my words bear fruit within you. As you turned your hearts toward the scriptures, the gospel resounded. "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." In that moment, you lifted your eyes to the mountains, the sacred peaks where divine truth echoes. Consider this. Without the mountains, those inspired voices, you would remain adrift, unable to fathom the depths of these profound truths. They became your guides, conduits through which you heard of the eternal word. Yet comprehension eludes you still. Fear not. Seek help from the Lord, the creator of heaven and earth. These mountains, though eloquent, do not shine by their own light. They, too, are illuminated by hearing the whispers of the divine. John, who lay close to the Lord's breast, imbibed wisdom like a thirsty traveler at a life-giving spring. But what did he offer? Not water, but words, the cup of revelation. So, lift your eyes to those same mountains, the wellspring of aid. Drink from their source, as if sipping from that sacred cup. Yet remember, your ultimate help flows from the Lord, the architect of the cosmos. Fill your heart from his abundance, and declare, "My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth." Let each seeker raise their heart as they see fit, and receive these words, the echoes of ancient peaks, resonating across time. The presence of God and the mountains of perception. Perhaps you believe that I, as a speaker, am more accessible to you than God. But let us swiftly dispel such a notion. God's presence surpasses mine by immeasurable bounds. While I appear before your eyes, he resides within your conscience, the silent witness to your innermost thoughts. So, lend me your ears, but reserve your hearts for him. In this exchange, both may find fulfillment. Consider your senses, your eyes, those earthly sentinels, turned toward us, not merely to us, but to the very gospel itself, to the evangelist's sacred words. Yet your hearts, they belong to the Lord, their chambers meant for divine occupancy. Now, let each seeker raise their heart with intention. What do I mean by what he lifts up and whither? It is this, examine the heart you offer, for it ascends toward the Lord. Beware the weight of earthly desires. They may drag it down before it ever reaches its destination. Acknowledge the burden of flesh you bear, and strive for purity. The pure in heart, you see, shall glimpse God. So, lift your eyes to the mountains, the peaks of revelation. Seek wisdom, but remember that true fulfillment lies not in the mountains themselves, but in the source from which they draw. Let your heart ascend, and may it be filled by the same wellspring that nourished John, the one who leaned upon the Lord's breast and imbibed divine truth. Declare, "My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth." And let the seeker be filled, for blessed are the pure in heart. They shall indeed see God. And so, our journey through Augustine's homilies on the Gospel of John draws to a close. We have traversed the sacred terrain, the echoes of ancient pulpits, the fragrance of incense, the hushed reverence. And so, seekers, may your hearts remain open, your eyes cleansed. For within these homilies lies a cosmic secret, a tapestry woven by saints and sages. May the grace and peace of God be with you all.
Soli Deo Gloria.